As he approaches this Orthodox Church in Moldova, Archbishop Markel begins his Mass. As he preaches, dozens of worshippers and teenage altar boys film his words on smartphones. His sermons are frequently posted online and often discuss what he describes as attacks by Western forces on his faith.
This
YouTube video of one of the recordings is titled "Moldova is in Danger. Help Save Orthodox Church of Moldova." One of those dangers, he believes, is the pro-European ruling political party. And as a parliamentary election looms in the former Soviet state, Reuters has discovered a surge in online content like this from Moldovan Orthodox parish accounts, urging the faithful to take a stand against the government's push towards the West.
Вот такой Европе, культурной Европе, христианской Европе, я говорю да. А гейской Европе я говорю нет. Если вы приходите с геями, то вообще не приходите к нам.
While the posts aren't explicitly pro-Russian, they do reflect the narratives being pushed by opposition parties, ones who want closer ties with Moscow. Like this one, which says, "Protect your children, protect your country, protect your church." The overarching message is that Moldova's traditional family values are under threat at the hands of an EU that will force children to embrace LGBT identities. And Reuters has discovered a link between these posts and trips paid for by Russia for several hundred Moldovan priests. The Moldovan Orthodox Church is followed by most of the country's 2.4 million people, and it is subordinate to the Moscow Patriarchate. The country's September 28 vote pits the ruling party, which has pushed for closer European integration, against other parties more aligned with Russia. And one way the pro-Russian opposition is trying to sway voters is through the church.
The most immoral feature of Russian electoral interference in elections in Moldova is the use of the most trusted institution, the church.
Stanislav Sacriaru is the National Security and Defense Advisor to the Moldovan president. He says that Russia has been weaponizing religion by recruiting and training priests on all-inclusive pilgrimages to the country. And this is one of those trips. Reuters spoke to 15 clerics and analyzed photos and videos of the visits that were posted online. They showed that several hundred priests accepted all expenses-paid trips to Moscow between June and October last year. The clergy toured holy sites and went to lectures stressing that Russia and Moldova must stick together against a morally corrupt West. Reuters used facial recognition analysis on YouTube videos and interviews with priests to identify 3 Kremlin-linked Russians among the hosts of 4 of the pilgrimages last year. Once these trips ended, the online campaign began.
After the training, priests come to Moldova and use their influence in order to sow the mistrust, erode the confidence of society, and to generate and fuel mistrust in our society.
Some of the priests told Reuters they were given debit cards issued by a Russian state bank and were told they would receive more money, but only if they set up social media channels to warn parishioners of dangers of the government's push for closer ties with Europe. Over the last year, almost 90 new channels have been set up as official accounts of Moldovan Orthodox parishes, and the online activity has been ramping up over the summer as the election approaches. Reuters uncovered data from closed chat rooms on Telegram showing at least 3 people tied to the Russian government were involved in the social media campaign.
Эти телеграм-каналы, они под прикрытием религиозности и веры людей в церковь, в Бога, они имеют вообще другую историю, другое желание манипулировать, обманывать людей, создавать восприятие граждан.
For years, the Moldovan government has accused the Kremlin of trying to influence its elections. But Markel told Reuters that any talk of a pro-Russian campaign was baseless. He says the posts are a local initiative by the church, independent of Moscow. And the trips were simply pilgrimages.
Я полагаю, что это несостоятельное обвинение, и это попытка просто оправдать некоторые промахи, некоторые неудачи, некоторые, не знаю что, свои проблемы, отвлечение внимания от других более вопиющих проблемах.
Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Russia condemns interference in other countries' internal affairs, and that Moldovans will decide who wins the election. The Moldovan Orthodox Church and the Russian Orthodox Church in Moscow didn't respond to requests for comment. The Russian Church has said previously it was funding an apolitical program to bring over Moldovan clergy and strengthen ties. When asked about the flurry of new channels, Telegram said it was a politically neutral platform that respects peaceful free speech. Sarasi Lumina, the channel which hosts some of the content, does not say who controls it or if it is affiliated to any organization. Reuters contacted 2 people listed as administrators, but they didn't respond or denied involvement. Father Maxim Malinti was a priest for a Moldovan parish church until he quit in 2024 over Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. He told Reuters he has followed the flood of social media posts and spoken to former colleagues who said they had been pressured to push a pro-Moscow line.
Нас все говорят, что мы православное государство. И если церковь будет говорить о том, как нам хорошо с Россией, то и будущее нашей страны будет в том же ракурсе.